Hi.
Hi.
So, Teresa, tell us, where'd you get help?
So I'm going to take that in two parts. I know we're kind of running a little bit behind, so I will be brief, but
That.
okay. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was before you actually need help. And that is as you're working and you get that kind of gut feeling that, something feels like it's not going right or something might be starting to happen or go wrong. Paper trail. Make sure you have to protect yourself. And you're going to know something's not feeling right. And the reason when I say paper trail is in one of the very first cases I ever tried, my opposing counsel used this in his opening statement. And I have since used it in every single one of my opening statements because it is so true. And it is the easiest way for jurors to decide or judges to look at things. And that is that the facts don't lie, but people do. And facts are things, usually writings or documents, that took place back before there was a lawsuit, back before anyone was motivated to have a side or a perspective. They are the facts. And nowadays it's easy because we have so many things that are in text messages or in emails. But one of the things you have to remember is if you're working for someone else, they're going to have control over your emails. So your emails that you may think, oh, I have this whole paper trail. I kept all those emails that we're talking about, see more patients or do more things. The problem is they're going to cut you off. If you are in litigation or even if you're terminated, at some point, you're just not going to have access to those emails. So what a lot of my clients have done is when they start to become concerned, they'll take that email and then they'll forward it to themselves to a private email. So later they can still have a copy of that. Also, keep track notes, write notes to yourself or keep a running log or something, because things that are documented contemporaneous with when they happen, and that may not mean that particular moment or that day, but if it's in short order after it's happened, we can use those later in the trial or in court. And again, those are facts before a lawsuit happened. So the reason that they're more reliable is because no one's really motivated like people when they testify. So the facts don't lie, but people do. So really, I would just, and I'm going to do a little quick war story on that, because in one of the cases I tried, and the other thing about the story I'm going to tell you is you will find that there are, in addition to patients and the jurors who are patients, there are going to be other people working with you or for the organization who feel the same way about the advocacy that you do. I had a case and the doctor had been terminated, had set up a new practice, and was needing to get authorizations for the patients to be transferred for continuity of care. Well, the patients never came. And we knew something was wrong. We tried to do discovery and get at what happened to the authorizations. And about the middle of the discovery case, I get this phone call, and it's from someone who won't leave a message, just wants to talk to me, won't talk to anybody but me. I call them back, and it turns out to be an employee for the defendant. And they were upset because they knew and had been told to shred all the authorizations for my client. That evidence was so damning to the defendant that when that witness came out, that there we go again, case settled. That case settled in the 8 figures, because talk about interference with patient care. You have patients that need to see their doctor, and this witness, who was an employee, knew, they just morally, they said, I need to stand up for this. But that's documents that we couldn't get because they had been destroyed by the other side. So protect yourself as you start to feel like things might not be going right. But where to find help from I'm assuming we're talking just about the legal part of this, because I think you're going to see a video on probably the other more for yourself, how to take care and help yourself. But you can reach out to any of the medical associations, the specialty medical associations. So it's like the Association of Anesthesiologists, or the California or the Ohio Medical Association, or as Dr. Batante has, Bob, the LA County. They all have referral lists, or they'll have lawyers that call in and that are specializing and they want their name known for doing the particular area of practice. So you can, and the same with bar associations. I'm listed through the referral service of the various bar associations. Another good place would be, and I do this even sometimes, is go to the internet and Google some type of whatever's going on with you. You know, if there's a retaliation and have a specific specialty, because someone will probably have either written an article or there will have been a news article. I know a lot of my cases have a lot of publicity about them. And so as things happen, people will say, oh, I found this article about you. And then they research, and then that's how they find me, because you'll see these news articles that are out there, or an article that the lawyers wrote themselves. And then lastly, once you find those lawyers, maybe through a referral or through the news, whatever's on the internet, that first lawyer you find and you describe your problem to may not be the exact fit. In fact, I would say a lot of my clients say, boy, you're like the second or third or fourth lawyer I've talked to. And the other lawyers all told me, oh, I don't think anyone specializes in that. So I do have a very niche practice. There are a lot of law firms that do the types of cases that I do. It's just a matter of really kind of digging deep once you feel you've got an issue and a problem, and don't get discouraged, because there are firms and lawyers and people out there to help you. And one of the interesting things too is, in terms of referrals, when you reach out to the lawyers, they may not know someone, but they're going to refer you. And then that person may refer you. I know I would say I probably get a third of my cases from my prior opposing counsel, because they'll say, well, someone came to us and we represent the insurance company, but this is a friend of a friend, or this is my doctor and this is happening. And because of conflict issues, the law firm itself will actually refer to me, even though they've been on the opposite side of the case. So I hope that helps. But everyone, there are people out there and firms out there that want to help the doctors.
So one of the things that efforts that I've been thinking about trying to put together is a forum for lawyers who do what the kinds of practice that Teresa Barta has throughout the country, so that they know who each other is. And so if you need a lawyer in Massachusetts, you know, there's a network of these lawyers who know each other and can, you know, can refer you to other lawyers in different places, and also synergize amongst themselves. So that's something I may want to talk to you further about.
Yes, and that's an excellent idea. And I do know I've had to work with lawyers in other states, because just like probably in the medical field, I mean, I need to have a bar license from those other states if I have a case that venues there. So that's something I think we should work on. That would be excellent.
Questions for Teresa Barta? Where to find help? How to get help? Anybody offline, Lucas? All right, then we have a short video that we'll show you, and then we'll break for lunch.
Hi, this is Dr. Jenny Byrne. I'm sorry I can't be with you in person today, but I wanted to share some resources with you as medical students, thinking about what I hope is a very long and happy career in medicine. Now is a great time to be thinking about your well-being, especially as you go into residency training. You have some real opportunities to take care of yourself, but also to help build structures in your residency programs that will support others. And it's a great time to start making that peer support network that will come in so handy when you're like me later in your career. So I hope you've had a great conference. I've included a resource guide If you have any questions at all, I really hope you'll reach out to me. I'm very open to random outreach. And if you're struggling or you know somebody who is struggling, please know that there are people out here to help you. I am one of them. There are many others. All you need to do is take the first step and reach out. And I know that's typically the hardest step. So I hope you have had a wonderful day, and maybe I will get to connect with some of you one-on-one in the future. Okay.
And that resource should be available from at the registration desk. There should be a printout of various resources that can be. All right. Any questions? All right. So what we're going to do now is I trust that the lunches are out back. These are box lunches. You can eat them anywhere you like in this room.
Oh, I just called me at like 8:30. I'm like, yeah.
And years ago.
Today, guys, it's just like people like
Extremely unlike, right? Like
Yeah,
that, that's not.
cameras off.
It's
immediately talking to
So it's after. Those breakout rooms and the breaks.
Yeah, I think we're gonna.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a few of our medical and law students will be going into a breakout room with our remote attendees. And that room is A62, and they know who they are, the students who will be going and doing that. And a law student, please, or somebody take a laptop, and Tim Lynch will come into A62 and show you how to sign in so you can guide the discussion in the remote breakout room. The rest of us will split up into our own little breakout groups. And again, the mission is, well, how do we fix it? What do you think will work? What do you think we should do? And make a list, talk about it back and forth. If there's a difference of opinion, that's fine. And then we will have law and medical students in each of the in-person breakout groups, as well as the remote breakout groups. And the law and medical students, please keep track of the discussion so that you can report back. Maybe one of you can start and say, well, here's what we came up with, here's what we talked about and decided it wouldn't work, and so on. And we'll reconvene, say in about half an hour, 1:45, and see what you came up with, and then rapidly break out into another set of breakout sessions to see what medical students can do. I don't know that we need to take too long for that. And then we'll reconvene, see what you came up with, and then we'll have a very short discussion about how do we infiltrate this into medical school curricula, if that's indeed feasible. And that will be the end of the program. Sound good? Any questions?